Welcome back. It is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Madison Square moment, only this time it's in Dubai, not in New York. The final leg of his two-day UAE visit, and Prime Minister Modi is to address Indian expatriates in Dubai in a short while from now. Prime Minister Modi will address the Indian diaspora at a huge cricket stadium in Dubai. The stadium can hold up to 40,000 people, and his rally has been dubbed as Marhaba Namo. Organizers saying an additional 15,000 people will be with food stalls. We can see some of the pictures that are now coming in of the ceremonies that have already begun. The cultural program there on your screen has already begun. The Prime Minister's speech being preceded by that cultural program, and it's also going to be broadcast on local radio stations in the UAE on different languages. Now, that's coming up in a moment from now. But remember, on day 2 of Prime Minister Modi's visit, India and the UAE, through a joint statement, have sent out a message on terror. That's right. Let's take a look at what the statement is saying. The statement between the two countries has condemned efforts by states to use religion to justify, support and sponsor terror against other countries. The statement also deplores efforts by countries to give religious color to political disputes, including in West Asia and South Asia, and denounces and opposes terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The big question is the statement directed towards Pakistan, known to be an ally of the UAE. Let's listen in though to the Prime Minister when he spoke earlier today in Dubai. Of course, the big question is, has the Prime Minister with this visit now broken the Gulf barrier, his first major visit to an Islamic country? That's the question we want to raise. Asauddin Owaisi, President of the All India Majlis joining us. Nalin Kohli, National Spokesperson of the BJP joining us. RPN Singh, Congress leader joining me, and former MOS Ministry of Home Affairs. KC Singh has served in the UAE as our ambassador there. He joins me. Wael Awad, senior journalist and an expert on the Middle East, joining me. So all bases covered as we look ahead to the PM's visit, to the PM's conversation today to Indian expatriates. But the big thing is the Prime Minister traveling to the Gulf itself. Asauddin Owaisi, you and others have been critical of the Prime Minister in the past, saying he's traveling the world, why isn't he going to the Middle East and the Gulf? Now he's gone there, he's visited a mosque there, he's reached out to the Indian expatriate community and the leadership in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. How do you respond to that? Has Prime Minister Narendra Modi proved critics like you that he finally has reached out to the Gulf and to the Muslim world?
Let me first clarify that I have never said that he has not gone or he is not going to any West Asian country. Now, secondly, coming to this visit, I welcome it, and we should have more ties with the UAE and the Arab world, more so because what's happening in Yemen and the Pakistani government not sending their army to Yemen has given us a golden opportunity to what is called in economic terms spite investment. Now, thirdly, if the BJP is saying that he has gone to a masjid of Sheikh Zayed Rahmatullah Alayh, that this is kind of an outreach to the Muslims in India, I beg to differ, because the question will arise about why isn't Modi's government appealing against bail being given to the accused in Makkah Masjid bomb blast or in the Dargah Ajmer case. And thirdly,
hold on. Why are you
isn't
linking
the Modi government
Hold on, Mr. Owaisi. If Mr. Modi had not gone to the masjid, and I will ask my producers to focus on those pictures, if he had not gone to the masjid, you would have said that why has he not gone to a masjid? He only goes to temples when he goes to a Bangladesh or a Nepal. Now he's gone to a masjid in an Islamic society. Should you not respect the sentiments that he has expressed by going there rather than bringing in Mecca Masjid and Ajmer Sharif at this moment?
Rajdeep, the place where he had gone, any foreign dignitary who goes to UAE goes there and pays homage to the founder of UAE, Sheikh Zayed Rahmatullah Alayh. So there is nothing great about it. In the past, Queen of England has gone, the South African Premier has gone, the Australian Premier has gone, and as a Prime Minister he deserves all the respect in a foreign country. My question over here is that if BJP is using such a trip to a masjid to send out a message that here is a Prime Minister who is making an outreach to the Muslims. That is why I have posed those 3 questions in front of you.
Okay, can I therefore ask you that, Nalin Kohli, is it what Mr. Owaisi is saying, that this is an outreach not just to the UAE, but to the Muslims of this country? One of the criticisms of Prime Minister Modi at times has been he hasn't done enough for a reach out to the Muslim community. Is this visit to the UAE not just directed at the Indian expatriate community there or the UAE leadership, but also to Muslims in this country?
Well, for the strangest of reasons,
Particularly ahead of the Bihar elections?
No, for the strangest of reasons, I think Mr. Owaisi and I'll find ourselves on the same page. Just as Mr. Owaisi pointed out that he has never criticized the Prime Minister for not going to the Gulf, which was incorrect. I am unable to understand where is the BJP projected that going visiting the mosque in the UAE is in any way a message, or looked at it from the politics of Bihar elections, or it is to be seen in terms of reaching out to the Muslim community of India. I think we are mixing up issues and we are forcibly doing it. So this part of the debate I think is spurious. It's unreal. It's just not that issue. The question that remains is that this is a visit that should be welcomed for what it is achieving for the country, what Indian citizens have to expect from the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has said it always. Indian citizens, irrespective of their religion, their race, their region, anything, they deserve a good government, they deserve development, and that's what is the dharma or the mantra of this government.
So you're rejecting any connection between this visit and an attempt to reach out to the Muslim community?
No, I think it's incorrect, and it's not correct, it's not ethically also correct to mix it up. Indian citizens deserve a government that works for Indian citizens, for the interest of India. This visit is a foreign visit. Why would we be wanting to send a message to Indian citizens of any way, whether it's going to a temple or a mosque or a church or a gurdwara, that we are trying to appease our citizens in our country? I think that's to be rejected completely. The visit is a success. What we do in domestic politics is a different issue altogether. We are mixing it, and I don't know where this debate has come into the media from also. No one has spoken about it either.
I'll tell you why. Because there has been from time to time criticism that the Prime Minister has faced, that India is shifting its policy towards the Middle East. India is reaching out to Israel at the moment at the cost of its long relations with other countries in the region. These are questions that have been raised particularly also at times by the Congress party. So RPN Singh, here you have Nalin Kohli who is saying, view the visit to the UAE in terms of what the Prime Minister is achieving there. There's been a joint statement that's just been issued where the two countries are talking even of working together on issues of terrorism. Would you say that the visit has been a success? Would the Congress concede that the Prime Minister has made a major breakthrough with the UAE? Mr. Singh.
Rajdeep, the Prime Minister is a great showman. I congratulate him. Selfies at mosques, events at cricket stadiums are great TV events. But we have to think of the crucial takeaways. We had a high-profile trip to China. What were the takeaways? Nalin, I didn't interrupt you. I think you shouldn't interrupt me.
Go ahead.
What were the takeaways? We had the Chinese are still investing in POK. The Chinese opposed us at the UN Security Council. The Prime Minister can tweet about bomb blast, which is extremely unfortunate in Bangkok, but he cannot tweet or cannot pass condolences about our Jawans or civilians dying on the border. I find it extremely unfortunate that the Prime Minister, whenever he's on foreign soil, he always tries to pull down the image of the country. So when he went to UAE, by berating what the previous governments had done, I thought was extremely unfortunate, and it's become a pattern.
Can I therefore, this has been the Congress's pattern also. Every time the Prime Minister goes abroad, you believe that the Prime Minister is engaging in event management and is doing photo ops. Just a word from you, KC Singh. We are going to hear the Prime Minister in a little while from now at that big cricket stadium in Dubai. Do you see it as a photo op? Is it event management? Or is it significant that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting the UAE, where there are 2.5 million Indians residing, as a major breakthrough in 34 years?
No, you can't say it's a major breakthrough. It's building on what went on. I was, as you know, ambassador there from 99 to 2003 during NDA 1. And there's a lot of work we did then. Don't forget the perpetrator of the bomb blast at the US consulate in Calcutta. The perpetrator was sent back by UAE. Dawood's brother was sent back by UAE. So they had begun cooperating with us on the counter-terrorism side. But then I think there came a period of lull. But somehow one got the impression that during the 10 years of UPA rule, there are just too many ministers handling UAE. It was not handled at the head of government level. It was outsourced, I think, to the Kerala lobby. And to that extent, probably we lost the momentum, because in these countries you have to engage the top man. And there I think Prime Minister is absolutely correct. He's caught the right man, which is the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, who is the final authority, the future president, and the final authority on national security, defense, economic matters involving oil and gas, though he'll have to co-opt his brother Sheikh Khalifa in it. We came close to these moments in the past.
Right.
Don't forget that Mr. Advani stopped by there in 2001. He was only a home minister. And I managed to get him a call in Sheikh Zayed. He had a very good meeting with Sheikh Zayed. And then all these princes came home for lunch and sat with Mr. Advani. Then Sheikh Mohammed came here in 2003 with 3 brothers.
Right.
But we were not able to utilize that opportunity because Mr. Ishwant Sinha was the foreign minister. He kind of took it in his stride. They were ready with all these proposals then, but we had to be ready for those proposals. So we have, I think it's a country well chosen because it's a moderate country, it's non-Wahhabi, it has a huge population. Let me give you an anecdote. When Mr. Advani called on Sheikh Zayed, he thanked him for the cremation ground which the UAE authorities had just given to the Indian community. And you know what was his answer? He says, you don't have to thank me. If Allah Ta'ala wanted everyone to be a Muslim, then everyone would have been a Muslim. But everyone is not a Muslim. So Mr. Advani was really taken aback by that answer, because he had never met a desert, a leader who sprung from the desert with that common sense and inclusiveness which the Gulf gives you, quite different from what you have in Saudi Arabia.
But you know, you've got a situation now where temple land has been given by the government in UAE. There's some controversy whether this land was actually given in 2013 or has it been given now in 2015. But Asauddin Owaisi, seeing those developments, don't you see that as a positive? Because the only worry that I have is that no one is really talking about the 65% workers in the UAE who are the blue-collar workers. 65% of the 2.5 million Indians there are blue-collar workers. Will their concerns be addressed, Asauddin Owaisi? And the fact that the Prime Minister has now got land for a temple also. Should these all, how do you see this? Do you see the Prime Minister being able to reach out to a community there?
Rajdeep, I started in your program by saying I welcome strengthening of relations with all the GCC countries, and especially in the light of the crisis in Yemen and also with the US agreement with Iran, India has a great opportunity in strengthening our ties, also in the light of what is happening with ISIS. And yes, you are right, there are more than 7 million Indian workers over there, and they send nearly 60 billion of foreign remittance, unlike the North Americans, which the BJP takes a lot of pride in pandering to the North Americans who don't send a single pie or not even 2-3% of what these Indian migrant professionals and workers send from the GCC countries. Now about this temple land, I'm really surprised that the joint statement talks about it, because the Prime Minister is of a country who does not have a state religion. And this land, I don't know why the Prime Minister should take pride and thank. It's a great step, because out of 2.7 million Indian workers who are working there, many are Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Punjabis.
But Muslims have their mosques in UAE and Hindus don't have a temple. I think all this should be celebrated. I mean, why should a Prime Minister of a country and India as a country has no state religion? We celebrate all the religions. So why is it that only temple? Why not a Gurdwara? Why not a church? Because there are many Malayalis who belong to the Christian religion. Nalin, you want to respond to that? that this is being seen as one of the big achievements, that the Prime Minister has got the leadership in the UAE to give land for a temple.
I think Asaduddin
Let me just,
Owaisi
for the
Saab,
benefit of
let me
your-
answer
of
this.
your
Let me answer
viewers.
this.
Yes.
Let me answer this.
Yes,
That
Lalit.
I think Mr. Owaisi, in his comment of secularism, seems to have come up with a rather exclusionist definition, which seems to point out that he has no celebration for another religion other than Islam, wanting to profess it, and he sees it as a point of somehow sadness. And I'm amazed at this, because the constitution that guarantees him and me and anyone else on this program rights does not grant anybody extra rights in terms of their practice. So if the UAE ruler has gone ahead for a land that has the world's third largest mosque, and I'm sure has many other mosques, because that is a land that practices Islam in great numbers, that if they were to go ahead and give it to a Hindu majority country, maybe the Hindus are more there, maybe there are churches there, to make it into a political point, to score some points here, I think is very regrettable, and I think takes away from the initial comments that Mr. Owaisi made, which were, rather more in a national interest.
Right.
But anyway, so that be, that is Mr. Owaisi's politics, and I can't be fighting with him because his politics is based only on that.
Can I for a moment, before I slip into a tiny break, ask you, while Awad, there's someone on the ground.
Rajdeep
How-
has just come in.
Yeah, no, RPN Singh,
Rajdeep has just come
RPN
in.
Singh, I'll let you respond in a moment. While Awad, do you believe that this is a significant visit that the Prime Minister is making, possibly while Awad his most significant visit since going to the United States in September last year? Is this a kind of a breakthrough visit?
I think, let me just, for the benefit of for your viewers, that first of all, this is not the first temple in the UAE, nor it is also in Oman, or it is also in Kuwait. So there is the question of hyping or sensitizing this issue. I feel the Prime Minister, if I go by the joint statement, I think it is a very strong, very balanced, and very mature in the typical India emerging as a superpower. I don't want it to go into a small topic and make it more of a public consumption.
Right.
Let us look at it from the wider perspective of India, as in the security, in energy security in the Gulf. And also, don't forget that you are having 14 million Indian annually in the Gulf state, and 8 million are staying permanently. What will happen tomorrow if there is a crisis in that region? What is the contingency plan? What India should play? I think there is a security vacuum in the region, and it is not only we should look at the visit from the isolation of UAE and India. It should be looked from the GCC and India, GCC and Arab world as well. So therefore, the security of the region is very important for India at one angle. The second part of it is also the investment, where the Prime Minister tried to give his message to the Indian community there, the expat, the investor, that if you can do it in UAE, you can do it also in India. I think these are a very clear message, Rajdeep, and I think we should focus on the wider perspective picture. I always feel that the Prime Minister
I'm going to halt you there.
It's a historic. It is also.
I'm going to halt you because Prime Minister Modi, as we can see from those images, has just landed at that cricket stadium in Dubai at the moment. Those are the images that are coming in at the moment. Prime Minister Modi landing there in Dubai. He's going to speak in a short while from now. You can see those images playing out on your television screen. This is Prime Minister Modi in Dubai. We expect him to speak in a short while from now. This is his big moment in Dubai. Remember, he's had similar moments with NRIs in different parts of the world, from the US to Australia to even when he was in China. But this is his big moment in Dubai, and as was being pointed out by some of our guests, the fact is a number of Indians have very, very strong links with India at the moment, given the fact that many of them are part of what is called the remittance economy and do remit large amounts of money back home. Prime Minister Modi there, ready to speak in Dubai in a moment from now. We are building up to that speech, and as you can see that there is a large crowd which is gathered there at the stadium. We're told about 35,000 people are gathered there. We're going to have to